What's good, Nas? How you doing, my boy?
Yo, what's good, y'all?
Yo, what's good? So, Nas, you are a brand owner. You have a clothing brand. I'm sure people may know this, may not know this, but you have been doing this new business model that's been coming out recently called Brand Operator, right?
Yes, sir.
Of course, of course. Because actually, when I first found out about the business model, I told Nas about it. And Nas, because Nas was one of the original students from my first program, Brand Discovery, and I told him about the business model, and he's been doing it. And Nas, it's been about like 90 days, and you told me you got some results with it.
Yeah, it's been pretty good.
Okay, bet. So Nas, for the people wondering out there, how did you land your first client? Like how long did it take? How did you do it? How did you get that first creator to sign with you and actually work with you?
Yeah. So at first I just did a bunch of cold DMs. I was sending out DMs to anybody I knew. First I started with like YouTubers that I watch. And the more that I watched them, I'm like, they don't have merch, that could be a bit good business opportunity. And I was just sending out like 20 DMs a day. A lot of them would just leave them on scene. But there was a guy that reached out and he was like pretty like suspicious about it in the beginning, but then I was like, this is a business that a lot of people do, and it is just extra revenue on top. So it's like, it's a win-win. So from there we kicked it, we got on a call, we set up everything for him, and from there, yeah, we designed all the merch and it was
And this
barbecue chicken
this
from there.
yeah, and this creator, I know you can't leak the creator because NDAs and stuff like that. But like, how big would you say this creator is?
So they have around 6 figures on YouTube. I'd say about 200K. And they're pretty big on the short form area too.
Okay, bet. So they're a pretty decent sized creator. It's not the biggest, but it's a decent sized creator. And they
Yeah,
were able to trust you, and you landed them. And how long did it take for you to actually get that first client?
I would say about I would say it was like 5 to 7 days of cold DMs.
Like
And
nonstop.
I've gotten some yeah, and I've gotten some answers, but those answers didn't really like lead to calls.
Yeah,
But eventually one led to a call, and that one was just, the one.
100%. And Nas, like I said, you're a brand owner previously before. Like you have your own clothing brand. Um, and tell me about why you even like decided to start this new business model because you already have a clothing brand, right? So what even enticed you to want to start this new business model, creating brands for creators?
Well, the thing is, like, my brand has already been like so automatic, that I just find like a lot of free time in my day. And I design all my clothes for my clothing brand. Like I've never ever hired a designer for my brand.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, I've just been like needing to design something, and I was like, if I have this design skill, I might as well put it into somebody else's brand. Somebody that maybe likes that area, and maybe somebody that likes the whole general aspect of running a brand, which is something that I have experience with, as well as you know, building something to take up that free time. So it's just more of like a side project that turned into an actual business on the side.
Mm-hmm.
So that's basically how it happened. I'm just a guy that like I like to design and stuff, and I'm pretty experienced in building brands.
Yeah.
So that's where it came from, basically.
And you would say, especially because I know you viewed all the program material, you actually helped film the product development section of the program because as I mentioned in the video, if you guys watch my video on this homepage, Nas is the head of product development at my creator agency now because, like he said, he likes to design. So he has his own agency and he also helps designs for my clients as well. But would you say overall, like when I had explained the model to you and everything, like do you feel like a beginner could understand this business model and easily do it?
It's pretty self-explanatory because you get someone that doesn't have merch. You make merch for them, you set up everything, and then you just take a cut of the sales. It's
Yeah.
pretty self-explanatory. As long as you watch everything correctly and you take a bit of notes, it's pretty easy to get into, I would say.
And speaking of sales, Nas, would you mind showing us the sales of one of your creators and how much you took from that in profit in your pocket?
Yeah, yeah. Let me pull up the dashboard right now.
Got you. And I'll make sure it's all blurred for you because I know you have privacy NDAs with your client. So I'll make sure it's all blurred so they don't see the name of the person. All right, bet. So Nas, here we go. Okay, $73,000 in the last 90 days. Okay. It's not bad, honestly. It's pretty good. What would you say was your like cut from this? Like, what percent of these sales did you take for your agency?
So we took around 20% for this client, mostly because they were more of the average size. And we also took an initial fee on top.
Mm-hmm.
So this client was pretty good to work with, self-explanatory. And we've gotten them good sales lately. So around 20% of this was profit for us.
Mm-hmm.
Since we take 20% of revenue. So that was like 14, 15 grand in the last 90 days for only one of the clients, you know?
Just only one of your clients, exactly. That's really good right there. And you
Yeah.
also charged them a setup
Mhm.
fee, correct? Like you said, you mentioned like you had like a fee you had charged them.
Yeah. So if the client is pretty big, we don't charge them initial fee just so that we can close them easier. But if it's a smaller guy and they're willing to work, so that in that scenario, we charge them an initial fee plus a revenue split.
And that initial fee is like anywhere from like I'm assuming 3 to 5 grand. Um,
Yeah. We do 3 to 5 grand, and then the revenue split can be anywhere from 10 to 20%.
yeah, perfect. So you walked out with over 20 grand from this client in the last 90 days, and this is only one client. I know you have multiple now. So I mean, you get a couple of these clients, you're going to be doing 10, 15, 20K a month easily, which I'm sure you're already
Yeah.
doing. So yeah, bro, that's actually nuts. Could you actually refresh for us? Because we got to make sure this is legit, make sure it's all good.
But I got you. I got you.
Yeah, refresh.
I could take
Yep,
a
it's
look.
legit. Okay, bet. Yeah,
Hmm.
so yeah, no, 73
Come
grand.
on now.
Is pretty good, bro. Congrats. Like if someone wants to join this program, Operator Incubator, what would you say to them? Like, should you tell them to take the risk? Like, is this meant for a beginner? Like, honestly, give your honest opinions. Let them know like how you feel about it.
I think that this is more of the easier business to get into, and also one of the more unsaturated because the people always think of like building something for themselves and doing all the hard work and doing all the marketing. When you really think about it, like the most profitable businesses are the middlemen, Like Uber, they don't own any cars and yet they make the most money. DoorDash, they don't own any restaurants and yet they make the most money from the deliveries. PayPal, Visa, like it's always the middlemen that get the easier part of the business and the easier profit. So at the end of the day, when you don't have to rely on the marketing and instead the influencer just uses their platform to do all the work for you, and all you have to do is build them a product, then it's easy. I mean, all you have to do now is just build a good product, set up all the systems, and the influencer does the rest for you. The influencer from there, if they're big enough, all they have to do is just post the story, and there goes 10K profit from just the revenue split for you. So I feel like for a beginner, a middleman business is always the best
Mhm.
because it takes the least marketing skill. It's easier to build a product and have to don't have to rely on the marketing for it because then you just create a good product and let the influencer do the rest. Um, and it has no like actual capital to spend because the influencer is paying for the samples, the influencer is paying for the marketing, the influencer is paying for everything, and all you have to do is build the product. So you literally don't have to spend any money.
It's
The
easy.
influencer pays for everything. You just have to build a good product for them, and you
Make
get
their
paid.
website.
So yeah, so least capital, least marketing knowledge, and all you have to do is just build a good product. I mean,
And most of that stuff is
and it's
automated
unsaturated.
too. Like most of that stuff, especially inside, like whether people join to choose Operator Incubator or not, like inside of Operator Incubator, we have like that stuff automated. You get website templates that are good, already ready to go. We have designers in there who could create the products for you. It's pretty like plug and play for the most part, is what I tell people. And yeah, this business model, like you said, this is like the creator economy. We're moving into the creator economy. It's no more of this running businesses without having a face no more. Creators are the face of businesses. Like just look at Logan Paul and
Dude,
KSI.
because like, dude, everything is on phones nowadays, and there are more live streamers, IRL streamers than ever nowadays. And everybody is walking around now with a tripod and a phone. So if you're either going to be the guy that creates the brand and tries to run them themselves, or you're going to be the guy that holds up the tripod and tries to go viral from click farming.
Yeah,
Or you could be the guy in the middle and get the best of both worlds, you know? So I feel like that's what operator incubator is. You're not building an entire business from the ground up, and you're not trying to go viral from streaming or content creation or whatever it is, and going against all these big creators. You're just the guy in the middle, giving both businesses the opportunity to combine. So I feel like
100%.
that's what makes this business so unique.
I
Um,
got one more question for you as well, Nas. Like, because
so
you run a brand, would you say running your clothing brand is easier or running brands for creators is easier? Just off the fact that with your regular brand, you have to do the marketing, and that's like marketing. I always tell people is the hardest skill to learn in business. Like, marketing is the number one hardest skill.
the thing is, a clothing brand, you have to learn so many skills. You have to learn manufacturers, you have to learn designing, you have to learn sampling, you have to learn quality check, customer service, marketing, content creation, content virality, campaigns, photo shoots, models, I feel like in my experience, running a clothing brand is harder, especially on top of all the current saturation. Everybody's trying to start a clothing brand right now. And it's been like this for the past 2 years because they think it's a get rich quick scheme, right? And with the algorithm being even more annoying now to work with all the TikTok shop stuff, it's
Mm,
so much harder to get a clothing brand from the ground up and get it to go viral that I feel like running um a merchandise line for a creator, it's much easier because you don't have to rely on that. Oh, this video is going to go viral. Oh, the next video is going to go viral.
yeah,
Oh,
the
my
creator's
ads are not working.
audience.
No, because like it is guaranteed payout for you because you know the influencer, you know their audience, they would like die for them. So if he releases a product at any day, they would sell it out in an instant, you know?
100%.
So most definitely I would say uh operator incubator for sure because it takes the least capital and it's definitely less, hard work, I would say, and hard like it's less saturation in the market.
100%. So I appreciate you, Nas, for hopping on this call with me, kind of, showing us your results. Like I said, guys, Nas has a clothing brand, and then he went and started this business model. Now he runs it for a couple of his clients, makes really good cash flow from it. And Nas is also the head of product development at my creator agency. So he creates products for my clients as well. And Nas is also officially a coach inside of Operator Incubator. We talked about it. We got him on board to help give you guys all the insight on this business model as well as me. I coach in there as well. But Nas is a part of the coaching team now to help you guys. And like I said, I've known Nas since my first program, Brand Discovery, where we used to teach about starting clothing brands. And he started from zero, and now this guy makes all this money with both these business models. So yeah, thank you, Nas, for hopping on this call. I'll talk to you soon, and you have a blessed day, brother.
All right, bro. See you.
See ya.